Hi, I'm Kendall Belmont, and this is the final segment of my procedural memory project. So in this project, I was doing the Maradona soccer move, which is like a 5-process move. You're up on the ball, you get over the ball, you roll the ball with your other foot, and then you do a full 360, and then you take the ball with your dominant foot. So I went and practiced this move 10 times a day, 6 days a week for 21 days in total. And overall, the process was slightly difficult since first week I did it just with a cone, so I wasn't like defending me. The second week I did it with a person instead of a cone, but they still weren't defending. And then the third week I did it with a defender. The challenge became that the person knew that I was going to do this move the same 10 times so they could read it. So it was the question of, do they know what I'm doing and take the ball, or do they let me complete the move? And since I was taking the day off and changing once a week what kind of defender I was using, it made the task slightly more difficult. Overall, I went from starting in the cognitive stage to moving up to the associative stage or the motor stage. I wouldn't say that I was in the autonomous stage simply because it was still a conscious effort every single time that I did the move. These are my final clips of what I recorded. I would consider this my current state or my ending state since I will not be continuing the study. The study is finished. Finally, I did the move over my 21 days, completed my graph. The beginning of the weeks, the number of successes were slightly less than the end of the following week because I was using a new defender and I had taken a day off, so just by logic. However, I did get to use the move in a game, and although I am very far away from the defender, it was still a cool process and idea, and it was fun to do, to see like my procedural memory project in action. This relates to what we've been learning in Psych 222 because it is a procedural memory, and we are using our procedural memory part of our long-term memory, which, if you don't know, there's 2 different kinds of long-term memory. There's episodic and semantic long-term memories, which episodic can take you back to a time and place, and semantic is like memories of how you feel and who you were with. And then on the other side of that, there are procedural memories, which include like riding a bike, tying your shoes, doing the Maradona soccer move, along with priming and conditioned response, whether that's operational conditioning or classical conditioning. So it was really interesting to see how, as much as I was thinking about the move while I was doing it, it was still the same procedure every time, regardless of the kind of defender that I was using. This is a clip comparing the first time I did the move just with a cone versus the last times I did the clips with a real defender. And you can see clearly that even a success was still not as coordinated and not as smooth as it was with a defender on my last trial. And then even in the game, you can see how smooth it was and how well the ball got off my foot, unlike the previous 2 times. If I were to repeat this study, I would probably try and make it more realistic to soccer and not necessarily use the same person 10 times in a row, although that's a great way to measure it. I would just try and do 10 times in a practice and then mark on my hand whether it was a success or a fail, simply because that's more realistic in soccer than dribbling at a cone, dribbling at a person just standing there, or dribbling at a person 10 times who knows exactly what you're going to do. Thank you for watching my video and keeping up with how my project went.